Hello, I am Dr. Sheryl Randolph, and I am so glad that you have joined me for this episode of Live Anyway. You know, I am enjoying the time that we spend together to just look at life and make good decisions so that we can live this life to the fullest. So, if you join me for the first time, thank you. And if you're coming back, I appreciate you. Also, as I always ask, if you have not subscribed, please do so that you can stay on the front end of everything that this channel has to offer. Well, today I am excited because it is July. So we're moving into the second half of the year. And typically this time of year is filled with celebrations, people refocusing, and trying to say, how do I get the most out of this second half of the year? As a matter of fact, maybe a little bit more than I got out of the first part of the year. Well, what I want you to do this July is to focus on you. To think about your liberation, to think about how you want your life to be. And when you take time to think about it, what you may conclude is that there are some things that you need to break free from. So yes, this episode is about it's time to break free. It is time to release yourself from some things that try their best to hold you back. Now again, as we discussed in previous episodes, those things could be people, could be habits, could be situations. But what you get the privilege to do is choose to release things from your life, to make them take their grip off of you so that you can live your maximum life. So let's look at the words. If we look at break, it simply means to separate from. If we look at free, it simply means to no longer be under the control of another or under the control of a particular way of thinking. So when we say break free, anything that's trying to prohibit us from being our best self, we need to separate ourselves from it. That's right. Separate yourself. Now, you know I'm going to my word that is one of my favorites. You have to be intentional. See, freedom doesn't just happen. Freedom comes when you evaluate your life, when you make intentional decisions, and then you put an action to that decision. That's how you get to the place that you want to get to. But it's going to take effort for you to break free. You know, when you think of breaking free, you think of something that won't release you just easily. You have to sometime apply force. You have to really have a strong will, because it reminds me of my children. You know, and many of you will agree with this, many mothers and fathers. There would be times I would go to the store or be on my way to the store, and two little people would say, I want to go, I want to go. Now, it wasn't that I didn't want to spend time with them, but I really did not want them to go. You know why? Because I knew we would engage in an activity called breaking free. We would get to the store. I'm holding their hand as I normally do. And then, here we go. It's about to start. They kind of connect mentally, and it's almost like they did a silent countdown. 3, 2, 1. And two of them would take off in two different directions. They would be running as fast as they could. They would be laughing. They would be throwing their hands in the air, and they would be having an amazing time. Now, was it fun to me? Absolutely not. And they knew I was quickly behind them to apprehend them. But when I was thinking about breaking free, my mind went to their free spirit. My mind reflected on how they looked and how they sounded and how happy they were to be released from my grip. You know, can I invite you to take on that same attitude, to say, you know what, the second half of this year, I am going to break free for some things that's trying to hold me back. And when you get there, you will understand that there's some good things that you can be laughing again and smiling again. As a matter of fact, maybe some of you just need to break free from being grumpy, from not seeing the happy things or the pleasant things in life. You know, to take on that attitude like my two little ones that said, we are free. They didn't say it, but everything about them says that they're free. Could you be representing bound when you could be looking like you're free? Well, let me go back to them. I did bring them back, and I held their hand, but I enjoyed the conversation that they would have with each other. It would sound like this. Wasn't that fun, Sheridan? Sheridan would then reply, yeah, that was good. Now then I could tell they were about to say, let's do it again, but they saw me watching and they thought, might not want to say that. But Can I just say to you, it's fun when you break free. It's fun when you step into who you really can be. It's fun when you actually are able to step into a place that seemed so far away before, because you release yourself from what people think about you or for what even you think about you. You know, sometimes our greatest enemy is enemy. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. But you have permission this July to liberate yourself. Free yourself from anything and anybody that says you cannot make it. So what does that mean? There's some habits you're going to have to let go of. There's some attitudes you're going to have to get rid of. There are some guilty feelings that you need to just release yourself from. There's some opinions that you have to just say, you know what? That's exactly what it is. There are times when you would choose to operate in a mediocre way. Gotta let that go. You need to operate in excellence and striving to be the best that you can be. And then what else? Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. There is so much going on that, you know, would cause us to be sad or to not appreciate or enjoy life. Be what? Intentional. Enjoy your life. One of my favorite scriptures says, he who the Son has set free is free indeed. Because he sets us free, we don't have to live in bondage. We don't have to live in restrictions. We can live and be all that God said that we can be. How does that happen? You have to have your mind transformed. You know, let me give you another scripture. Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world. That means whatever you're in, don't be conformed to that. Anything that's limiting, don't be conformed to that. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It is important anytime we enter into a new phase or a new process that we allow our minds to be transformed. Because I've discovered this. You can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. You can't move to freedom with the same mind that has allowed you to be bound. You have to have your mind transformed so that you can do the good things, so that you can explore the great things, so that you can step out of this area of confinement and go into the unknown. I'm going to go back to my children one more time. The freedom that they just enjoyed, you know, while I'm holding them, they can only experience what I pretty much say they can experience, because we're moving at the same pace. When you release yourself, you open yourself up to more. You open yourself up to the big world. You open yourself up to amazing opportunities. So go live free. Now, let me caution you. Freedom does not mean to just do any old thing any way you want to. No, freedom means that you live a disciplined life. You live a life that's beneficial to you and to others. I'm free to love. I'm free to help others. I'm free to speak kind words. I'm free to pursue my opportunities. I'm free to be a good citizen. I'm free to outlive negativity. I'm free to voice change. See, all of those things are beneficial changes that you are free to do. So don't live from the back seat or work from the back seat. Get in the driver's seat and move your life forward. Break free. So can I ask you, what is it that's holding you back? You have the power. You have the ability. You have everything you need. I know I say that every time because I want you to know everything you need is already on the inside of you. You have everything you need to break free. And when you experience freedom, oh my goodness, you don't ever want to go back to being bound. When you experience liberty for real, you do not want to go back to the things that limit you from being the best that you can be. So, why wait? Now is the perfect time for you to have your mind transformed, for you to change your thinking, for you to release yourself from restrictions and choose to live anyway.